Today's video topic is all about the forgotten cost of purchasing a home. Now, this probably applies to most first-time home buyers, but there are a few items that would apply to somebody transferring from out of state because Texas is very different on a few items. My name's Josh Parker, your Austin Realtor, and today we're going to break down what it looks like to buy a home. And specifically, we're going to use the number of $400,000 home because, let's face it, in most of Austin and the surrounding areas, you can expect to pay $400,000 plus in most areas. So, let's break it down. You've got a handful of items that you probably have not thought about because when you talk to people about buying a house, most of the time they say, how much can I afford, what's my interest rate, and how much down payment. So today's example, like I said, we're going to use $400,000. We're going to say 3% down, and that will give us a baseline in order to move forward with looking at the additional fees that you are going to come out of pocket with to buy that home. So as I mentioned, most people think about how much can I afford, what's my down payment, and what's my percentage rate. Well, like I said, we're going to use $400,000, 3% down, and that will give us our baseline to see what we're going to be coming out of pocket with. But let's talk some slight differences with Texas. Now, Texas has something called an option period. They have an additional fee above and beyond your earnest money that is paid out that gives you exactly what it sounds like, an option to purchase. Now this timeline is typically 5 to 7 days, but it can be different for each contractor, each deal that goes through. Now, what is an option period? Well, you are going to spend about 1% of that 1% of the cost, which on a $400,000 home would be $400. Now, with that $400, you have that 5 to 7 days to get your inspections done, determine whether or not you really want the home, and then proceed from there. Your earnest money is going to be 1% of that home price, which in this case is going to be $4,000. So you've got $4,400 right there, right off the bat, once that contract has been executed and everybody, both parties agree to a price. Now that money is going to be paid to the title company, who is going to receipt it, who is going to hand that $400 to the seller, and you can also write into the contract that that $400 gets applied to your closing or your down payment. And so during that option period, I mentioned inspections. This is an additional fee that most people forget about. And it's going to run you anywhere from $450 to $800, depending on location, size of the home, and what needs to be done. Now, it is very well worth it to have your home inspected because this is where a licensed inspector goes through the home with a fine-tooth comb and looks at absolutely everything. And I'll reference a video up there that I just did on talking about home inspections. And so during that inspection, they're going to go through and make sure that your foundation, your roof, your plumbing, electrical, and HVAC are all up to date or at least functioning the way that they should. And if not, you have this option time to go back and renegotiate some repairs, additional cost off the home, whatever it may be. And so during that 5 to 7 days, that is what you're doing. Now, if you find out that the foundation is just shot and it is way off, or the roof is no good and the seller is not willing to make the repairs or come off the price of the home, you're able to back out, get that earnest money of $4,000 back. You do lose that $400. You are out that inspection fee, but you're not getting into a home that is going to cause you a lot of problems. So, now that we've gotten through the option period, house is good, everything checked out, we're moving on down the road. What comes next? Well, initially what comes next is your appraisal. Now, that is going to run you, I've seen them as low as $600 up to $1,100-$1,200 depending on, like I said, location again. That is a fee that most folks forget about and it catches them by surprise, so you need to be aware of that additional fee. Now, once you've done that appraisal and it comes back that the home is worth what you asked for, then it's going to be a lot of paperwork with you and the lender, who's going to collect a lot of documents from you. And as we get closer to closing, well, this is another fee that may surprise you. So, as I mentioned before, 3% down. You are going to pay on a $400,000 home $12,000. The fee that you probably didn't realize that you were going to have to pay is your closing cost. Now that includes a handful of items: your origination fee, your underwriting, your title insurance, your title search, all the other people that are working on your loan package have to make money. So, most likely it's anywhere from 2 to 5%. Some lenders will give you some discount points on it. Some will discount the fees a little bit, but for all intents and purposes, we're going to be using 2.5%, which is an additional 10 grand out of pocket. So now you've got your down payment, you've got your earnest and option money, you've got your inspection, you've got your appraisal, and so now you're ready to close. You've got to bring to the table $22,000. So at the end of the day, you're really sitting about 5.5% instead of that 3% that you originally thought you were going to come up with. Now, some lenders may require that you have some cash reserves so that it shows that you can make a couple months payment if something were to happen. So, like I said, there are a number of different fees that you can expect to pay on top of your down payment, and I hope that this video helps. I hope that it clears up some confusion for you and saves you some headache on the back end when you get that home under contract, and that you're aware of these additional fees. If you have questions about it, reach out to me. Love to chat with you. Like I said, my name is Josh Parker, your Austin Realtor, and we'll see y'all soon.